G'day everyone and welcome back to episode 6 of Baggers Podcast 24. I'm your host Carlton Blues 24 and you are
Louis from the Perth Blue Baggers Pod.
glad to have you on again. Thanks for joining us. Straight away we'll get into it. This was just utterly piss poor. This was terrible.
Yep.
Do you want to get into our key takeaways?
How much else is there to say other than injuries? Completely outrun because of it. Players need to have a rest on the interchange. Only 49 out of 75 maximum interchanges were taken, so that clearly shows that it was, we're actually severely impacted by it. And then, they just completely fell apart. And I thought they would probably try and make an effort to try and, slim the margin a bit, so he can keep up percentage and stay in the top 8. But I think it's either they didn't know that was a occurrence, or they just couldn't manage to do just stem it back, sort of thing. So, obviously, biggest takeaway is injuries. 6 players out this week, so they're going to have to make 6 changes.
Yeah, straight away forced into the 6 changes this week against the Eagles. This is just... I don't know what's going wrong. It's really tough. As you said, injuries are our biggest ick, I'd say, or something, whatever you want to say. It's just not good. Yeah, it's not acceptable either. I mean, we were fine with the McGovern thing that happened. The supporters showed some really good, signs that we were definitely stronger together. But this one has made us a little bit more angry. You can't be going 74 points down to the Hawks. And as you said, I would have liked to see us fight for our percentage. That would have been very handy. But now we're fighting for our season. So, not fun. Not fun times at Icon Park.
Yeah, so top 4 is very unlikely. You'd have to win every game and have results go your way. I've done a few ladder predictions. Only way to cope, really, doing those stupid ladder predictions.
Yeah.
Pretty much after every loss this season, gone onto that stupid squiggle or the AFL ladder predictor thing. See where we could happen. Because I only, at the start of the season, I predicted 5 losses, probably. Instant losses. I think one of them would have been, most of them would have been away games, like against Sydney and Port, and others, yeah.
And now we've ended up losing 5 of our last 6. So, yay. But, I mean, our midfielders last probably 6 weeks, 2 months, whatever you want to say, have been putting our defence under way too much pressure. Obviously, injuries have been terrible and have made a massive impact on our ability to play well in defence and, transfer the ball a bit better, but haven't been able to do it. And it's really costing us. It's starting to get just really, really bad to watch week in, week out. And we know this isn't the Carlton team that we want to see play.
Nope.
Like, don't get me wrong, season is not over. Season is so far from over.
Yep.
But we need to start. We need to start to really knuckle down, I should say, and fight for our top 8 chances. We can get a lot of good players back in finals as well, such as TDK. There's a slim chance Doc could come back, and we know what he can do. Charlie could be a little bit more fit with that week off this week, which we will get into. Who else we got that could come back?
They got
But
rights here, Fantasia.
yeah, Fantasia's
He's a
been.
test this week, so
Yeah, I'd say we'd play him instead of Moya.
I think you'd play him just because we need some experience out there. I don't want to go in with 6, debutants. So, because that would just be it would basically turn into West Coast themselves if we did
Yeah,
that.
turn into a Harley Reid masterclass.
Mm.
Let's get into some changes for this week, as we have been going on behind the scenes about who's gonna be in, who's gonna be out. It's been all over Insta. Let's get into it. Do you want to start us off?
Yeah, so I was hoping that Marchbank would be available, but unfortunately he isn't. So he's not an option. Mitch McGovern's too important to playing forward, especially with their forward line. It's pretty dynamic. So I'm going to say Lemmy gets his debut. Lewis Young back in. Carroll back in. Binns back in. Moya in. And Wilson. And out, Curnow, Mackay, Sard, Martin, Fogarty, Boyd. All in our best 22.
Yeah.
Those 6, yeah. And then, but the only reason I wouldn't put Lord in is because he's a midfielder. The midfield hasn't been hit that hard by by injuries. So, and then you already got Carroll with the experience. So that's why I wouldn't put Lord in. Moya can play like a sort of wing, high half forward. But we might go in with Fantasia instead of him. I guess I don't know. We'll see. Young can potentially be a ruck as well as a extra defender, as well as which opens the door for Kemp to go into the forward line. See what he can do up there. Jackson Binns to create that run off half back. What else do I have to say? Binns can play further up the ground. To be honest, there's no real right answers. There's probably going to be a heap of players debuting. So, yeah, obviously, I'll be up for an interpretation for that one.
Yeah. I'll get into mine. I've got in. Sorry, I had a little moment there. Young, Lemmy for his first game. Moya, Wilson. Who else we got? And Fantasia if he is fit.
Yeah.
That's it. Out. I know I'm missing one, so please correct me. Curnow, Mackay, Martin, and Boyd are all out. That's all I've got.
You forgot about Fogarty and Sard.
Yeah, there we go. That was it, Sard.
Oh yeah.
So obviously, our defenders have been struck with some pretty tough losses this week, and I would assume Brady Kemp will go up to the forward line as he has played some forward role in the VFL this year or early on this year. Got a little bit of experience up there. I don't like the rumours of Wieders heading up to the forward line. I know he started as a forward.
No way. I'll get
there's
into that in a sec. Why we can't do that?
No way in hell that we can put him up there. We got Moya on that wing role. I'm excited for him to play. If you don't know, I am big Ashton Moya. Yeah, it's just looking at this list. There's so many debutants. Like, I'm so happy that they play, but it's just like, how did we get into this position? This
Yeah.
hurts. Like Martin, Boyd, Sard, Kerno, Mackay, Fogarty.
What a cursed club.
Yep.
Cursed, depressed. We are not stronger together at the moment, that's for sure. And then Voss coming out in his press conference with his usual positive stuff. Getting too used to it. Go back to when the first game against Geelong, when he said it was disappointing. Finally, Jacob Wiedering comes in today, Tuesday, we're filming, and he admits that it's all gone wrong and that we need to win next week. A little bit more negative than usual from Cripps and Voss. Which, look, it's not a terrible thing that they're doing that, but sometimes I think he needs to be a bit more harsh. Sometimes it might create more divide if you're not spreading a bit of misinformation. It can I don't know. It's not exactly truthful.
Yeah. To everyone listening, by the way, there'll be no top 5 this week, as that was an absolute just crap performance. Yeah. Couldn't find 5. I could find 2 max, and that
Kennedy,
was
Akers, Newman for me.
Cowan, Kennedy, and Newman for me, and Akers.
Okay. Yeah, Chris was good still. Ollie Hollands would probably be quite underrated.
Yeah. Good month.
Yeah. There we go. There's the sort of top 5.
That's sort of quickly. Not much to say.
So let's get into a bit of the analysis on West Coast.
Yeah.
So, as I'm from Perth, I get hampered by the West Australian, so I pretty much know every single player on their stupid list. So in the forward line, this is why you cannot put Jacob Wiedering down back. They got Oscar Allen, who kicked a clutch winning goal against North. They kicked 2 in 1 minute to get them in front. So, and he's a tall key forward. So you need to put your key back on him. So key defender. So you wouldn't put Wiedering somewhere else on that for that. And then you got Jake Waterman, who's in the race for the Coleman. He's in very good form. Then you got Flying Ryan. Likes to get the crowd up and about with his jumps and his leaps and his sort of wacky goals. So keep an eye out for him. And then you go into they got Jamie Cripps, cousin of Patrick Cripps. He's also, I think, is a good half forward. And then you go into the midfield. Tim Kelly's still pretty good. Elliot Yeo's in some good form after a few less injuries than he usually gets this season. So he's been able to produce some good form. Then you got the youngster, Big Harley Reid, who would be the rising star if he didn't get suspended. Watch him try and fend off players. I could see that happening very easily. One fend off really just lifts the whole crowd. That's all they really can cheer about sometimes as West Coast fans. But they know that they can smell our wounds. They'll be trying to put a dent into our finals hopes, which are very mumuch declining every week. And then you got forgot about the defense. You got Jeremy McGovern, brother of Mitch McGovern. He's a very good intercept marker. He's in the race for an All-Australian spot, you'd think. They've got Tom Barrass, who's also a good interceptor. And then they got a few young players too, who are doing well there. And then there's probably lots of other players I haven't thought of right now.
Yeah, I mean, coming up against Wet Toast this week,
Hmm.
as we all called them last year. But no, they've improved a lot this year. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the biggest game of probably our year. We shouldn't have made it the biggest game of our year
Oh,
this
yeah.
week. But
I'd say.
we lose this week, it's simple. We don't make finals.
Yeah.
Players look
Well,
out
actually, there is a chance. Provided Freo lose this week, and we win the next week against the Saints, and they lose that week as well, we could still make the 8.
Good.
But I don't want to rely on other teams' performances.
And
And
the ball.
Freo will not be giving up that easily. They will not want. They will want their best revenge they can get for their somewhat controversial loss. Would be to knock us out of the finals. And would be the laughing stock of the country. And I do not want that.
No, we do not want that, but we should not have put ourselves in this position.
No.
Players to look out for me is Waterman, Oscar Allen, Harley Reid, Elliot Yeo, Jeremy McGovern, if he plays. I'm not sure if he's playing or not. And Liam Ryan.
What's wrong with Jeremy McGovern? Is he injured?
He had something to himself a couple of weeks ago.
No, it was playing last week, so I'm assuming is. Let me just check.
He'll probably play this week.
Yeah. I'll quickly check their injury list. Compare it with our dozen odd injury list. Just talk about whatever, I guess. So Tom Barras is a test.
That'd be good if he wasn't playing.
We don't hope for them to not play, but Campbell Chesser is a good young player, is a test, but all the rest are season. Dom Sheed season. Pity they don't have Dom Sheed. Barras failed a fitness test last week and will need to prove he is over his hamstring to face Carlton on Sunday. Yeah, so he's coming off a hamstring injury, so we're still thrown in the mix to look out for there.
Yep.
Should we go into our injuries? Well, we already have, but more specifically, what each person actually has, So Harry Mackay quad injury. Scans have confirmed he sustained quad injury on Sunday, 1 to 2 weeks. Don't know what he was saying in the
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
Yeah, well, I
very
don't know about that.
Very big from Harry.
One of them's right. The club, or is it him? I don't know. Got Jack Martin. He's got a hamstring. At least it's not his troubling knee.
Thankfully.
Groin. He got a minor hamstring strain, so 1 to 2 weeks. Adam Sard, hamstring minor. Charlie Curnow, sprained ankle, 1 to 2 weeks. Fogarty, fractured collarbone, so he'll miss the rest of the season, unfortunately. Jordan Boy, abductor, will miss at least the remainder of the home and away season. So home and away, so he might be back for finals. Depends on how deep we go, obviously. Caleb Marchbank, concussion, 1 to 2 weeks. He cannot. He has had one of the worst runs. And then you got Orazio Fantasia with a test with his calf.
Wow. Oh, that's a list. That hurts.
Now, we said this was going to go for only under 10 minutes. It's almost at 20 minutes now. 5,
True,
4,
we should
3,
start
2,
wrapping
1.
this up.
Yeah, it's depressing to talk. It's probably just repeating the same stuff when we vent.
Yeah, it really
Just
is.
repeat.
I know. Let's one up.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening to episode 6 of Baggers Podcast 24. I'm your host, Carlton Blues 24, and you are
Louis from the Perth Blue Baggers pod. I'll be
Thank
there
you.
at the game, so hopefully we win, please.
Oh, please
Don't want to
win.
be amongst that stupid crowd. So I'll be laying low.
Yeah.
So not to cop it.
Go Blues.
Baggers.
Yeah.